On the Drake side, honestly, I'm a little less than halfway through. Through the album so far, I don't know. I guess it's not super relatable to me right now, just because of the season of life I'm in. So like I thought about that and I was like, damn, am I washed? Am I not really connecting with what's happening? But it's like, no, I realize I'm just in a different season. But I've enjoyed learning more about the things that have gone into the music and a lot of the news that's come out since the album has been released, right? So that's what I've enjoyed more than the actual album. I'm still gonna push myself to get through it. I gotta listen with, careful, just take it easy or whatnot. But I like what has come from about it so far, as the news, right? Like him, I guess I learned that he's going to take a break from music for about a year. Mm-hmm. He wants to focus on his health. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And then some of the double entendres or all of this stuff, like they were breaking it down on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I guess I didn't pick that up. I'm not gonna lie. That's not stuff that I usually pick up on the first listen. So it was cool to have access to that on TikTok. But just listening to it on my own, obviously, like I said, what's the name of the album? This one's for the dogs or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, anyway. That's
have you ever been in the season to listen to Drake?
Yeah, I love Drake. I think Drake's music is amazing. Actually one of my favorite.
So one of my favorite rappers. What season do you have? I'm curious because Drake has always been in this very toxic.
No. This one is like. This one is strong.
Have you not listened to Views?
This one is stronger.
Have you not listened to More Life?
Yeah, More Life is fine. I was not as spiritually awakened around More Life.
So.
Or Views. No, I was saying Views. Around Views, I was not as
I was not spiritually awakened until.
Yeah.
Until now.
More Life caught me in a season where I had less life in me. So
that took me out.
So okay, I can still relate with this a little bit. But no, this one was just, it's like, I gotta listen carefully. You gotta listen carefully on this.
So honestly, never mind.
Spotify. She's opening up Spotify.
Listen.
I see.
So Certified Lover Boy, you were in the.
Hold on. Let me go because I gotta see the titles.
When did you get spiritually awakened? Which album?
All right. So let me tell you.
When did it stop making sense?
So let's see. I definitely think Certified Lover Boy was like a stretch to still tune in. I didn't love it. There's not a lot of songs from there that. I'm looking through that album now. None of the songs on this album are saved on any of my playlists, so it lets me know I'm not really there. What's this? This one says Dark Lane demo tapes. No,
that was more of like a mixtape. That had like 2 really good songs. So so Scorpion.
Yeah, that's it. Scorpion. That's when I was still into it. More Life, one of my favorite albums, by the way. I love More Life. More Life. There's a lot of good songs on this album. Blem is one of them. Get It Together. Yeah, there's a lot of great songs. I love this one's one of my favorite albums for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, beyond
so you weren't spiritually woke on that one.
Yeah, no, I think I was close, but not there yet. It was that 2018.
I was up, but I wasn't woke.
2017. You see, 2017, More Life. I was not there yet.
2018, you were up.
2018, I was making progress for sure.
Okay, there was progress.
Come on, man, you got. Yeah. There
so
was
2021, you were spiritual. Forget it. So you didn't like
saturated.
You didn't like the 21 Savage and his one. You didn't like that one?
Mm-mm. Outside of the main song that was trending on, the social media, different platforms or whatnot. Yeah, I was not. I have not connected. So this one, just to me, in my opinion, it felt. From a musical standpoint, I'm sure you have some insight to share on the rollout, which of course I'm curious to hear. I did learn another thing, that by having his son featured, there's tax write-offs or tax advantages. So from a business standpoint, I like that. That's cool.
Yes.
But just musically, some of the lyrics thus far, and I have to say, I've only listened to about half of the album. I think I've gotten through the rap portion, and now there's a little bit more singing. So the first album I heard, the first song from the singing I heard today, it only took one. Like yesterday, I got through a good amount. Today, I heard that first one. I was like, God, put the worship music on. I was at the gym. I was like, switch this up. So
what?
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's just, I just gotta be honest with the people, man. I'm married. I got a kid now. I'm in a different season of my life. I want to see that. Can Drake give us that kind of music? You think that'll ever happen?
Why? I don't know. We don't want that from Drake. Why would we want? Why would we want a
so
settle down?
So you guys want them toxic forever?
Yes.
For entertainment purposes, you must be toxic.
Who's the other one? Like, what's that guy's name? Brett, the R&B singer, Brett. Oh, hold on.
I thought you were gonna say Bryson Tiller.
No, Bryson's another one. Don't get healed. Don't get healed.
Hey, that sounds so mean, though.
I don't care. We know you for toxic situations. Don't get healed. Man. That Brett, Faiyyaz. I can never say his last name. Brent is fire and is known as like super toxic R&B, and I don't want him to be healed either. But
I think we might have just rolled
Drake.
out a new term for musicians. Toxic artists. That's the category of music.
Yeah, that's been a category. Anyways, yeah, no, I don't want. No, that's not. I don't want healthy married Drake. What would that sound like? What would that sound like?
He showed some signs. I mean, wasn't there a song with Rihanna? What was the Rihanna song when they were on one accord somewhat? I think that one of the TikToks I saw. Yeah. I don't remember a song name like that, but one of the TikToks I saw said that there's a line on one of his songs where he's possibly going at Rihanna. So I was like, that not this year or not.
They've been reaching for a lot of things. They think that he's dissing the YB Youngblood guy, NBA. What's that? Now I can't even say his name. It's like NBA. I don't even listen to it because it sounds. Oh, Young Boy never. Young Boy NBA. So they thought he was dissing him. They thought he was dissing Kanye. Supposedly Cole was addressing Young Boy. So it's like a lot of people say whatever, but this is what I'll say. As far as so we got to think about it like this, right? I think he went more of a typical album release, and let me break this down. Where not the fact that it was supposed to drop like 3 weeks ago and it hasn't, not that part, but he actually dropped a single, Slime, right, with SZA, which was fire. Super fire, right? Then he dropped the 8 a.m. in Charlotte, which is like the freestyle that he always does. He does always 8 a.m., 6 a.m. situations. And that was fire, right? Meaning, if you already dropped 2 fire situations, I don't know if I can expect the album to be all the way fire, right? Now, granted, we got to pay attention to what his last solo album was, which was the Honestly Nevermind situation. Was it that one? The one with the go-go music and stuff? Let me make sure. Yeah, Honestly Nevermind was his last solo, because the one before that was the one that just passed was him in 21. So Honestly Nevermind, this is better than Honestly Nevermind. That is. Could we agree on that?
Take a look, just for confirmation purposes. I agree.
Okay. Yes. So CJ had actually text me like, yo, so and so thought this. I'm not gonna name drop it, but so and so thought Drake was mid. I was like, okay, what are we comparing it to? Let's have that conversation.
What do you mean by mid? What do you mean by mid?
Like average. It's average, right? It's not what we expect of Drake. And I was like, what are we comparing it to? Are we comparing it to his last solo album? If so, it's fire compared to his last solo album. He has Slime, he has the 8 a.m. one, and he has he has J. Cole, that one's fire. The Party Next Door, members only, that's fire. And the one that's going to go in all radio clubs, that whole nine, is going to be Rich Baby Daddy with Sexy Red and SZA, which I think was a smart play. And this is where I go, this will probably make Moose a little bit uncomfortable, but it's very relevant on this topic. Sexy Red is trending because of a leaked certain tape that came out. And so people are looking that up. Then they'll see the Drake album as well. I think it's a genius move, right? Now, the backlash that he's getting of this is a mid album from a lot of people. I'm like, what more does Drake have to do? What more? He dropped it at 6 a.m. First off, super not normal. He did a 3 a.m. stream. This is how we heard about he's not going to be doing music anymore for at least a year to take care of health situation because he has a stomach situation, right? So he did do a 3 a.m. stream to kind of see who, like, people were listening because of different time zones. So it's his tour is officially done, and he ends it with an album. I think it's typical Drake. I think it's typical Drake. I think it's a good move. I think it's a solid album, right? If we're counting base, like how albums are right now, there's not many albums that are not skippable. Especially if you have how many projects? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 projects in just Apple Music library. That's not talking about mixtapes or anything like that, right? I think it's fine. I think it's absolutely fine. The core people probably find it's fine, and it's Drake, right? I was really trying to analyze like music and kind of putting it into content as well, right? Where we are known so if we think about music, our favorite artists were known, they're known for a certain style, and probably we love a couple of songs, right? A couple albums, whatever it is. And those people who are kind of like, they like that, maybe that song, but not the artist, like they're always going to critique, but they'll always go back to that particular song, right? That particular album, but they're not necessarily core followers, right? So when there is a low situation, they're going to critique. So I'm looking at it from also like a content standpoint where I'm like, okay, if we put out enough content, there's going to be some things that people are going to be attracted to. They're going to remember us for this piece of content or this particular podcast or whatever it is. And then the core ones are going to continue to watch, continue to champion that whole nine. The other ones may fall off, right? But if you was to bring back the same reason why they liked you, they'll come back and be like, yeah, I love you. This is great. It's the same. It's the same cycle. So this is just average kind of music, but Drake has nothing else to prove. He does have solid tracks. The rollout was successful. We were teased multiple times between the book, between the tour, between certain release dates and it didn't get necessarily dropped. But I think it's a solid album. That's just me.
How do you feel social media has impacted the success of certain albums or even just artists in general now that so much of social media relies on music? You know, between whether it be different pieces of content or whatever the case may be, like music is just so much more acceptable and accessible on social platforms versus in the past. Do you think artists are banking on that, or like, do you think it's more organic? What's your thoughts on that?
So, I mean, some are making the clip-worthy, music that they know is going to go well with TikTok Reels and that whole nine. And that's how a lot of people are actually being known right now. If you have something that everybody can make a dance to, a skit to, put to our content, boom, it's helping, right? And we've seen Drake do that too. What was that song with the right foot up, left foot slide? What song was
Oh
that?
yeah, wasn't that the Tootsie Roll or something like that? I forget. Tootsie Slide. I think it sounds something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. I can't remember, but he did it. He went with, let me try to make a very trendy uh TikTok sound, and it worked for him, right? It did. You make a trendy song, it's gonna work. For others, I think it's just still the traditional kind of way. Like there's one person that I wish would go back to their old social media ways, which is Meek Mill. I feel like we've been waiting for Meek Mill to drop music for a while. This is my opinion, right? Um, and his presence on social media has been up and down. That if he did the usual, let us hear some things, let us get hyped up about it, and then he drops, I think it would work because it would work before. So there's some people who know how to use social media for their music, just like any other project. Doesn't even necessarily have to be music, but I think we tend to either look at what's happening now and then fall back from what used to work, or we don't adapt with what's working now.
Yeah, yeah. A lot to learn from the music industry as it relates to branding and marketing, though. That's for sure.
That's a fact.